Take in some deep breathing and kind of reset your mind. So wherever you find yourself, either on your back or seated up tall, let your spine be long. So even if you're seated or lying down, just see if you can really let the neck lengthen and the spine, whether your feet are bent or your legs are straight. And take a few moments just to check in and meet yourself again. So we're closing up our Leo cycle this week, and tomorrow we have a new moon in Leo, but it's going to be most of this new moon and this lunar energy is in the Virgo cycle. And so we're going to be asking ourselves kind of where do we need to focus more attention and effort to allow ourselves to be our best, to feel our best, to be able to do the work in the world that we want to do, or to enjoy our lives in the way in which we can. So as we're starting this, maybe this practice can be kind of your entryway of reflection into where do you need more attention, what part of your body maybe, or what part of your health and wellness. And we'll start today with our breath, because that's one easy place that we can always return to feed ourselves energy, to allow ourselves to dissipate energy, stress, and tension that we don't need. So as you meet yourself and you just kind of assess how you find your way to your mat today, just kind of checking in, tuning in with what you need in this moment, in this practice. So as you start to begin to breathe, notice if it's hard to take a deep breath in. And maybe that's a cue to allow yourself to receive a little bit more rejuvenation today. Maybe to slow down a bit, take more pauses, and breathe a little more fully. And if it feels difficult to breathe out, then maybe this is an opportunity to allow yourself to release and to let go of a little bit. Maybe there's some stress or tension or just an inability to kind of sigh it out. And so noticing what you might need for the next few moments, go ahead and invite in a deeper breath. So for some of you, that might be a longer inhale if you're needing to take in a little bit more energy. Feed yourself. And for some of us, it might be an exhale. We might be focusing on surrendering, releasing. So you'll make one or the other longer. And see if as you're breathing, you can make your breath dimensional. What I mean by that is that you can feel the sides of your lungs expand, the back of your body expand. And see if when you exhale, you can keep your collarbones lifted so that as the body deflates and the ribs knit back together, that the collarbones don't sink. So those of you that are seated especially, see if you can stay lifted within the collarbones. We're just going to take a minute just to breathe as we need, to give ourselves space, to let just the simple practice of the breath be a way in which we allow ourselves to be our best. Make sure as you're breathing, you're not straining or struggling. So even if the breath's only 3 counts, that's okay. Just allow it to feel easeful so your jaw can relax, your neck, your shoulders. You might imagine any stressful situations or anything that's going on, just leaving with every exhale. And with every inhale, you're drawing yourself in clear, rejuvenative energy, bright energy. Like a drink in of a forest walk. Take about 5 or so more breaths, just like this. If your mind wanders, let it come back to focusing on where you can sense and feel the breath. Sense any information that the breath can lend us as to letting us know what we might need for our bodies. And after your 5th round of breath, we'll gather our hands at our hearts. It's okay if you're still on your back, and just form an intention for your practice today. So it's maybe something you want to do for yourself, or how you want to offer up the energy behind your practice, so that this intention can be, or your movement practice can be intentional, can be meaningful for you. Take a deep breath in. And on the exhale, send that intention out. And open your eyes. So I'm using Soul Shine for the last time for a little bit. So I'm going to spray myself. If you have a scent, go ahead and give yourself some sensuality to that intention. And then you're going to make your way onto your back. And when you get onto your back, go ahead and hug your knees in and kind of feel that lift the low back. Roll side to side. Let the knees be together for this first moment, and just kind of notice and sense what it's like in the hip flexors, to have them shorten, to feel maybe the low back stretch a bit. Maybe you go up and down a bit. Maybe some of you want to rock. Hug those knees in, let the upper back round if you want. Maybe you lift your head. And then let the knees come wide and pull them in. So you can go really wide or just a little bit wide. Just kind of notice any different sensations there. And then even wider. So for me, I can either pull on the knees and kind of let them be heavy, or I kind of tend to like the shins. So kind of holding on to the side of the ankles or the shins. And again, you can move. That might feel good. Just kind of move side to side. Or you might find stillness. And again, checking out what you feel in your low back. Rolling your ankles, wiggling your toes. And then go ahead and place your feet flat on the mat. And just kind of feel the natural curve of your spine. So your palms will be up, or your palms can be down if you need more support. Try to really relax your shoulders, your jaw, your head. And we're going to cat-cow either slow or fast. So as we exhale, we'll feel the low back kind of flatten towards the mat. And then as we inhale, we'll let the curves return. So you can do this slowly with your breath, or you can do this rhythmically. And your breath might not be connected to either of those movements. You just might be breathing in and breathing out. So I'm going fast today. And as I'm doing this, I'm kind of letting this kind of let my shoulders and my spine kind of ripple out into some kind of organic movement. And you can use the leg muscles by pulling the heels in. This is a good way to kind of shake out tension. It's like a rocking sensation. It can be very calming for the nervous system. We'll do this about 10 more seconds. So feel free to sigh or bubble your lips or kind of let it go. And then come to some stillness and just kind of feel that reverberate through your body. We're going to go for a low bridge. So feel that tailbone lengthen a bit so that you flatten the lumbar curves and lift the hips up. So I want you to get more of a length in your spine, so not so much a big back bend. So feel those wrists pull down away from your shoulders, broaden your collarbones, and breathe. So kind of feeling the chest expand, even the sideways, as you feel warmth through your legs. And we're just going to walk the feet in and out, staying in this bridge position. So this is going to be some glute and back body strengthening to make this happen. Try to keep your hips lifted. So we're not trying to let the pelvis bob up and down. So you can take tiny steps or big steps. Feel the core engaged to help stabilize the hips. And try your best not to tense the jaw or over tense the shoulders. Kind of keep them lengthening and grounding down, almost like you're pressing the shoulder blades down to the floor. If you're feeling like you have a little bit more energy, you can walk out for a long bridge. It makes it much more challenging for the hamstrings. We'll do this for about 5 or so more breaths, so keep it going. You can be slow or fast. Just continuing to strengthening the back chain of the body, including the low back. And then reach your arms overhead, take a big stretch. You can lift your hips a little bit higher though without back bending, and then lift your heels and massage your spine all the way down. Then go ahead and lift your legs up. Your arms can stay lifted or they can go out to the side or even down by your hips. Point and flex your feet a couple times. Roll your ankles. And then as if you're walking, start to warm the hamstrings. So as if I'm walking on the ceiling. So it's okay if my knees need to bend. Totally fine. I can really flex through the feet, or I can kind of articulate my foot too if I want. Keep breathing. Breath can just be smooth and easy. And then go ahead and pull your right knee in towards your chest. Go ahead and lift up to that left heel and then lower your left foot towards the floor. And just like we began, pull your knee in straight to your chest and then pull it over to the right. And then kind of do a little circle motion or just kind of pull it in and out, just kind of to wake up the hip socket. Then take a deep breath, and then you're going to bring both knees in, straighten your right leg to the sky, pull the left knee in, and then straighten it all the way down to the floor. And then left knee comes into the chest, and then over to the left a bit, and then just kind of making little circles or just kind of exploring the space in your hips. And then bring both knees in and rock and roll yourself up to a seat, and then switch your legs beside you and come to all fours. So just a simple spinal balance. We're going to extend the left leg back and the right arm forward. Hold for 5 breaths and reach and extend through your body. So feel that right arm reach forward for those left inner thigh muscles. Lengthen back towards your ankle. Pull up for your frontal ribs. Pull in and then round your upper back. At your head though, feel your core activate. And then place both hands down, lift your left toe to the floor, lift your chest. Get a little back arch here. So you can point the toe or you can flex. And then place that left knee down. Restabilize, so find your core lifting up through the ribs. Then when you're ready, the right leg extends back and lifts the left arm. And then reach those two in opposition. Pulling the front ribs down, feeling strong through your body as you lengthen. And then pull everything into the midline, drop your head, feel your core engage. So the little rounding in the upper back. And then left palm down, lift your right toes, lift your chest. So feel that energy from your core reach through your chest, reach out through your toe, and then both knees down. You can tuck or untuck your toes. We'll cat-cow. So we'll go inhale, lift your chest. And we'll do exhale, we'll go back to child's pose. And then we'll go inhale, lift your chest, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. With your breath, drop your knees, cat posture or cow posture. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, cow posture. Tuck your toes, downward dog. So you're going to do this with your own breath. So if I'm going too slow or too fast, feel free. Your knees can be wide or narrow for that child's pose. I want you just to feel your spine kind of rippling through all these movements. So a little rounded back as I come back. I transition through, and then I neutralize it in down dog. All those same shapes that we've been forming. Keep it going with your own breath. But the most important thing is that you're lengthening out the breath. So pay attention if there's a time in which the breath gets really shortened, and then you can just slow yourself down and reset. So the posture is being secondary to how well we're letting ourselves breathe. We'll do this one more time. And then we'll hold in downward facing dog. So if your low back's feeling a little tender today, bend your knees and feel the hips reach away from your hands. So let this be a gentle way to stretch and lengthen the spine again. Let the outer edges of your armpits roll down and then reach from your inner lines of your chest through your thumbs, all at the same time. Let your neck release. Feel those heels getting heavy. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And then we're going to walk our feet to our hands at the top of the mat. Then widen your feet as much as you need to. So for a lot of us, a wider stance is much more generous for the low back. Bend your knees as much as you need to. Let your head drape. And either hold on to your head, hold on to your elbows, or let your hands drape to the floor. And you can sway or you can bounce, depending on what feels good. Sometimes I like to bounce, and it seems to kind of take tension out of the spine and the head and the neck. So I'll bounce and let my head go, and then sometimes it feels good to sway if like the sides of my back feel tight. And I'll kind of like sway as if I'm kind of being swept by the wind. So take your time, deep breaths, let those sighs come. And then when you're ready, come to that halfway lift and really widen your collarbones, feel that lift through your frontal ribs, and then draw down with your heels and come all the way up to standing. So feeling that strength in the back body. Hands to the heart. On the inhale, draw your right knee up, and then interlace your hands in front of your shin and pull it in, just like we did before. Now lengthen your tailbone. This should be a nice low back stretch, really similar to what we did before. Take a really deep breath, and then step your right leg back and come into a high lunge. So you can step back and widen your stance, reach your arms up, and press them out and away. Reach your arms forward and up, press them out and away. You have 3 more. Reach your arms up, press it out and away. Open through that chest. Try not to thrust your neck forward if you can. So just getting mobility in the shoulders. 1 more. And then arms are going to reach up. And then nice and slowly lower down to a low lunge. So you can reposition your back foot to be flat and then let your hips release forward. And you can take your left hand to your palm, reach your right arm up. You can hold on to your head if you need a little support and kind of allow yourself to reach on back if you want, or just to lift up as the hips come down. Now kind of notice if you've lost the core energy by thrusting the ribs. So you might back up a bit and then just re-lengthen. We'll take a little side stretch here. Nice deep breath. And then we'll take that right arm down to the floor. We'll back the right knee in so that we have 2 90-degree angles. And then I'm going to press my left hand to my left hand to my left thigh. Yes, okay, twist. Sorry, couldn't think about that. Lengthen your tailbone, turn and twist. Now pull that left shoulder on your back and extend it up so you get that nice back body strength. And then both hands come down, hinge back as if you would do a hamstring stretch, but come to the outer edge of your left foot. So I'm on the outer edge of my left foot and I have kind of like a weird wide angle. And I can kind of back in and back up and just kind of getting a little bit of outer hip stretch here. It's a little strange, I know. And then you might find a place of stillness. So I'm flexing my toes back so I can feel that outer hip stretch. Go ahead and flatten your foot. Step it back to downward facing dog. Remember to bend the knees. That's a nice little trick to re-lengthen the low back. Take a nice deep breath in and a nice deep breath out. And then when you're ready, nice and slowly, walk your feet to your hands, take your time. And then in your forward fold, you can sweep side to side, or you can bounce, or you can even find stillness. You might even just like to hang. And then as you're ready, come to that halfway lift, strengthen your spine. So pull up with the ribs, lengthen the side body. As you draw down through your heels and feel the hamstrings and glutes engage, come all the way to standing. Take a deep breath in, and as your arms reach up, that left knee comes up. Then I'm going to interlace, and I can pull it up if I want. So really important that my tailbone lengthens and my chest stays lifted. So feel that low back stretch. And then sweep that left leg back for a high lunge. Reposition. Find your edge there, and then we're going to inhale the arms up, get as tall as I can, then I push those arms back and away. Keep going with those arm glides. So you can have the palms face back, and you can turn the palms to face away. And that's just a different way to kind of work some of this shoulder and neck opening. I think we have our last one. Reach your arms and come up. Take your time, come all the way down towards the floor. So reposition if you need to. My right hand just kind of glides my thigh forward, the belly pulls up, left arm comes up. Support the neck if you want to lift back a bit. But keep watching that the ribs just don't disconnect from the core here. So I want to pull up through my belly before I reach back. Give it a little side stretch. You can always hold the side of the neck. And then I'm going to bring my hands down to the floor, and I'm going to step into a 90-degree angle so that I have my hip over my knee over my ankle. Hand to thigh, hand to a block of the floor, turn and twist. And really pull the tailbone low. You should get a nice back release for this. This is much different than doing this in a low lunge that we normally twist in. Now pull your right shoulder onto your back like you're pulling like a lawnmower to start. Not that I would know. Right arm up. Delegated job in my house. Cam's agreeing from the other room. Keep your breath going. You can always look down. And then hands come down, back up a bit. Roll to the outer edge of your right foot. So my heel and my left thigh are centered. My right knee is wide. And I'm just kind of going front and back just to kind of feel that hip stretch. So you might feel more as you come forward, less as you go back, but everyone's different. And you might just pause when you get there, feel those hips open. Okay, reposition your right foot flat, come to downward facing dog. We're saving our belly down back bends for the end. So if you're wondering, we're just gonna get the front body opened, strengthen our spine, work all those areas we were working this whole month. And then when you're ready, slowly walk forward. This time, come to that halfway lift right away. So lengthen out, lengthen out. And then stand all the way up. As you reach up, take your right knee up with you. Hold onto your thigh, lift up. And then drop your thigh down so it's a little bit lower and extend through that right leg. Hands to your waist or hands to your heart. Press through your heel, lift your chest. Lengthen that tailbone. And then you're going to hip hinge, come to that halfway lift again, but now you're on one leg and you're in warrior three. Lift up through your ribs. Stretch through your spine. You know, the upper back muscles get you a little bit lighter. And then step on back, high lunge. This time take your hands behind your back. So I'm interlacing, and I'm gonna open up my chest and stretch, and I'm gonna allow my elbows to come forward, and I'm gonna round forward a bit. So I'm just kind of moving through my upper thoracic, not necessarily my hips. I'm just going side to side with this, or I'm sorry, front to back. Open the chest, my head leans back a bit, neck releases, and a little bit of folding as my elbows reach forward, stretching the back of the heart. One more time, open and hold for an extra breath. And then as you're ready, come back with your elbows forward, drop to your back knee, fold a bit. Feel the elbows heavy as you round the upper back. So I'm using my core strength to lengthen my tailbone here. And then slowly come up, let the elbows go wide and let the hips release forward. Side stretch to your left. So kind of feel that right armpit area reaching up towards the right elbow. And then come back up, find that 90 degrees, and turn at your waist, twist to the left. Kind of letting your head be held by your hands. See if you can relax that left shoulder down your back as you draw it towards the midline. So you should feel a little bit of the left side of your upper back working. And then when you're ready, releasing those hands down to the floor. This time, wiggle your left foot wide and come into a lunge and roll to the outer edge of your foot. Similar to what we did, but different. So now my left foot is wide. I'm on the outer edge of my foot. I can come all the way down, or I can stay up on my hands like I'm showing you. Okay. Go ahead and let that foot come flat. Pop the back knee up. Now you're on left hand pressing into left thigh, and you're going to twist towards your right. So it's an awkward twist because my right hip's going to want to lift. Don't lift it. Feel the waist lift. You can look down for more support. And then when you're ready, right hand down, left foot back, plank pose. Stay here to neutralize for a moment. Downward facing dog. Take some deep breaths. Remember to bend those knees if you like. Then nice and slowly walk your feet to your hands. You know the drill, halfway lift. Ground through those heels, feel that lengthening through your spine, stand all the way up. Left knee up, arms reach up, grab onto that thigh, stretch and lower low back. Keeping all that, lower your left knee and extend through your left foot. Arms can come up or you can stay at your heart. And keep that lift, the chest stays forward. And then I'm going to sweep that left leg down and back as I hip hinge. Come to that halfway lift. So it doesn't matter if you're actually halfway or you're just at your halfway lift. Find the upper back. Find shoulders moving towards the pelvis. Reach and lengthen. And then come on back for a high lunge. Now you know what to do. So grabbing the back of your head, maybe you have the opposite index finger on top. We open, and maybe there's a back arch. You don't have to. It's just more that the elbows open and we open the chest without the neck muscles tensing. So you can kind of feel with your thumbs if the neck comes up, kind of use your thumbs to press down. Then as I come forward, I just let the elbows get heavy, but I keep lifted through here. So as I come forward, it's just the upper back. And then inhale, lift. Exhale, it could just be a tiny little release. Keep going. Find your breath again. Then maybe hold it open. Maybe there's a lift, and maybe you're just allowing the elbows to widen while your shoulders draw down your back. Come back to the center, nice and slowly. Drop to your knee. And then allow yourself to kind of lengthen your tailbone, elbows like they have dumbbells attached to them. They draw the sides of your shoulders down. They stretch the back of your neck. Coming back up, letting the hips release forward, we'll side stretch to the right. So the elbows kind of draw apart a bit. Letting the hips release. Then back it up. We have that 90-degree lunge, so we can really focus on the spine. Turn to your right. And again, now my right neck wants to lift, so I'm trying my best to draw the right shoulder down my back, but also in towards the midline to let me twist a bit. Then I lengthen through the left side of my back. So that kind of helps propagate the twist. And then I'm going to release it down. Hands come down. I'll wiggle my right foot wide. Come to the outer edge and let that thigh roll open. So I'm on the outer edge of my foot. My toes are flexed. If you have more flexibility, come to your forearms. Breathe in, breathe out. Hopefully you're feeling some mobility in the spine and upper back area. Go ahead and place that foot down flat. Come to plank just for a moment to find your core to kind of restabilize everything. And let's drop to the knees, child's pose. If you'd like to walk your elbows forward, do that, and then let your hands lift. You can get a little stretch through your spine. You can keep your hips lifted, or you can let them drop. Couple deep breaths here. And then we're going to come up. Okay, so take a moment to come all the way down to your belly. So you might make a forehead pillow for a moment just to neutralize as we lift one leg, set it down, second leg, set it down. See if you can anchor from your big toe to your baby toe so that you have all that good lengthening through your foot, through your thigh bone. And now pull the navel up as you press the pubic bone down. So we're doing both at the same time. I'm lifting my belly, so I'm not letting the belly press into the floor. But at the same time, I kind of let the pubic bone press down. And that's kind of the setup for the legs. Then we're going to walk the hands and find your range of cobra. We're only going to do it once for like 5 breaths. So when you're ready, you're going to feel the hands pull back, lengthen your spine, do all that good core and leg work. And then as you feel ready, the head is an extension of the spine. We'll lift the sternum. Remember, the hands pull back. I'm just going to come watch. Yeah, nice neck, Rachel. That's awesome. So you're pushing down, pulling back. With your hands, your neck looks great, you guys, all of you. Melissa, a little bit lower at the chin. Yeah, much better, good. Widen your collarbones. See if you can lift from your sternum. One more breath from core to sternum lift. And all the way down, nice. Let your cheek rest on the mat either side. Yeah, take that one in. So Cobra will stay with us, I'm sure, but some of these others not so much. So locust pose is next. We did a lot of variations this month. We did one where we clasped the hands. We did one where the hands were on the floor behind you. We did one where the hands were elevated. So locust, we lift the legs, we lift the arms. I'm gonna let you pick your variation. I'm gonna let you pick 2. So you might have hands down or hands up for each one. Remember, chest lifts, leg lifts. So we start out just like Cobra in that we want to find the good length of our body, whether you have palm down or palm up, or the hands are going to lift. Find the length, find the core activation, and then lift your legs, lift your arms. So you can interlace them or they can just be lifted. Same thing, the head's an extension of your spine, so let that chin come down so your neck is long. Yeah, nice, that was a good adjustment. Couple more breaths. Lengthen from belly to the crown, from belly to the toes. Yes, come all the way down. Awesome. Pick a second variation. Something else. So lots of variations of locust. Yeah. Clasping hands works. Remember we did the goalpost arms. We did the one we crawled back. Lots of options. Okay, ready, go. 5 breaths. You can repeat the same one too. Yeah. For a moment, bend those knees just a little bit, press up to the heels, and then re-straighten so you can get a little bit more lift. Nice. And then let it go. Awesome. Shake it out. Shake it out. Awesome. Okay. One leg bow. So that means either right forearm to the floor, head on the forearm, and you're going to reach your left leg back. You can just lift the leg and not do the upper half. Or you can extend through your right arm, and you can lift the arm, lift the leg. Okay? So 5 breaths here. So I want to kick the foot into the hand kicks into the foot, or lifts the foot. Try to feel the inner thighs engage just a bit so that left leg doesn't swing too wide. And release it down. Shake it out. You can windshield wiper your legs if you need. Let's switch. The left forearm comes down if you're not using the extension of the spine as much. Right hand grabs, outer grip or inner. When you're ready, kick your foot into your hand. With your hand, lift your foot. Either stay on your forearm or extend your arm. Same thing with the neck though, you guys. It's always important not to let that neck get too cut, because you're gonna cut off the back of the neck. Good. Take another deep breath. And lower it all the way down. Awesome. Shake it out, shake it out. So we've got bow to side bow, to bow to side bow. So we're gonna give you lots of breath, so don't worry. Remember, for the side bow, we were lifting one leg to go that side, so I'll walk you through that. You can always let go, okay? You can flex your feet or you can point. There's really there's no right or wrong. They're different variations of the same pose. So if this is a good pose and you don't need a strap, you're gonna reach back. You can also repeat one leg bow if you prefer, okay? So I've got both feet in my hand. Take a moment to let your knees come a little closer. They don't have to touch, but just a little closer. Find your long spine, lengthen your tailbone, pull your belly, kick into your hands, come into bow, just 3 breaths. Again, from core to your heart, from your heart to your thigh. And now lift that left leg a little higher, roll to your right shoulder. I let my head go, same word. Then roll back to the center, either take a breather or take another bow for 3 breaths. Kick your right leg up higher, roll to your left shoulder. Ooh, and I'm hitting Kuan Yin over here. I'm gonna let go and come watch. Roll back to the center. And nice, let it go, awesome. Just rest, straighten your legs, find that forehead pillow. Really nice work, you guys. Whew. Okay, so go ahead and tuck your toes under, let your knees come down, pressing up to a knee plank, and then to a downward facing dog. Let's stretch out the spine. Let the head go, kind of feel all those back bends in your body. And we'll go ahead and put the knees down the mat and come to standing on the knees. So if you need to pad your knees, you might want a blanket or something for the knees. So go ahead and tuck your toes under. Hands at the heart will be kind of medium intensity. Hands at the waist can be a little easier. Hands forward or up is most challenging. So long spine, right? You gotta find that core activation, lengthening through the spine. We're just gonna go back a few times and forward without back bending. This is strengthening the muscles we've been stretching. So you don't have to go very far. Just kind of feeling that spinal work, front body work. 2 more times. Good. And then go ahead and untuck your toes, sit back for a moment. Yeah, cross your right arm over your left. Let the elbows lift. Let the shoulders relax down and breathe into the back of your body. So that's the upper back. That's what we've been working for the last sequence of poses. If you'd like to tuck your chin, if you'd like to do just what we did in that high lunge and let your upper rib cage release down, you can also do that. Okay, move this into a flow. Lift your elbows up, kind of press down through your thighs, and then either curl and release, or just come down. So I can do this and just come straight down. Or if I like the rounding and releasing, I can do that all at the same time, even letting my hands come towards the floor. Just 3 more times. Lift up, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Strong through those glutes and hamstrings. Exhale 1 more time. Good. Goal, post your arms out to the side. Feel that chest stretch. And release it down. Roll those shoulders. Little interlude for a neck stretch. So you're gonna turn your right thumb to face down, and we're gonna take a half bind, so grab the left elbow crease, pull down. Left ear, left shoulder. So really with your right hand, you're grabbing onto that elbow so you can pull the left shoulder blade down, away from your left ear. Feel free to move your chin up and down. It can feel nice sometimes. Couple more breaths, really soften your jaw, breathe deeply into that side body. And then as you're ready, let go of your elbow. Use your left hand to lift your head up. And just kind of pause, notice the size of your neck. We'll do the second side of eagle. So we have left arm now on top, okay? So lifting up through the elbows, but dropping through the shoulders. Feeling that out. If you want a little extra, if this feels better to you, kind of pull those elbows towards the upper ribs, let your head go. Turn it into a flow. Inhale, lift up. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Inhale, and you can just release on this one and hold. So you want to let the arms go all the way down, you can. Widen your arms, inhale, and sit back. So if you need a block, I didn't say that, but of course you can do that. Left arm out, inner rotate, grab onto your right elbow crease, shoulders down your back, and we're gonna go, make sure you do the opposite. I think it's right ear, right shoulder. And again, you can angle your chin down or up. Nice deep breaths. Send that breath to the upper back, neck, jawline. All those good spaces. And then letting that arm go. Use your right hand to lift your head up so you don't use your neck. And then just pause and feel that. Coming up to kneeling or standing. So if your knees are feeling tender, feel free to stand. Go ahead and touch the top of your shoulders and do some additional shoulder rolls for me. You can do both, or you can try to do like opposites. It's like brain energy. I don't think I can do opposites on the one. I think Rachel said before, it's easier if you go slow. So yeah, you can work your brain, or you can do both of them. You guys are all smarter than me because everyone else is feeling like they can do it. Good. Yeah, nice. Okay, release your arms down. Shake it out. We have one last back bend that we worked on, which was camel pose. So if you want to use your blocks for that, we're going to put in all this work that we did with the strengthening here. So you can use the blocks, and I can use my hands to push down. So remember when we did back and forth, and you were kind of working the strengthening of this front line. We worked a lot of back body strengthening. So you can use blocks. You can have your hands at your waist and back. You can support your head if you prefer. Hands can also be at the small of your back. So before you do anything, find that length. That's that tailbone lengthening, belly pulling back, lifting of the collarbones. So you can get as tall as you can. Feel that your glute muscles are activated, but they're not pulling up, they're going down. Lift up as tall as you can. And then as you start to go back, your hips don't go back, it's actually just a leaning back, a lifting up. Let your chin lift, your gaze lift, and move your throat back. Look up, throat back, chin lift. Literally small. 5 more breaths. Open through your chest and collarbones. Feel them lift up as you inhale. And then slowly come down. Nice. Oh, lay down. Awesome, you guys made it. Nice deep breaths. We're gonna take a seat. I'm gonna use a block. So we're gonna take left leg forward. Right leg is gonna cross, so I have knee on knee. Similar to the lunge we did earlier, but not quite the same. Second leg bends if you'd like, or keep it straight. Here's another trick, blanket or block under the bottom knee. So Gomukhasana. Some of you are more flexible, don't need any blocks. You can also do this on your back if your low back is bothering you today. So I'm on the outer edges of my feet. I'm gonna grab onto the shins. I'm gonna lift the chest and come forward a bit. Then I'm gonna lift the, let the upper back round and release. So I'm gonna do this a couple times, just kind of massaging my spine into this shape. And then I'm just gonna come up and kind of lengthen, try and find that middle ground. So not chest forward too much, not upper back rounded, somewhere in between where I can lengthen sides of neck. And for the first few moments, we're just gonna lengthen. If you'd like to add on and add in the arms, you can just do, so let's see, we go right arm up, left arm down. And you can add a side stretch, or you can just add the tricep stretch. So if you had a strap, these are what's really nice for this, because this is a challenging posture with this. So I want bicep to ear, and I want, as the armpit of my right arm reaches up, the shoulder of my left arm reaches down. Then there is a gentle kind of side body action that happens to the left. My head can fall back. And again, you can just be doing a side stretch. You don't have to do the arms. This is just a variation. When you're ready, slowly release your arms nice and carefully. We're going to twist to the right. So you can either twist and release. You can do a open arm twist. So I'm pretty high off the ground, so it's hard for me to release. Anything that works. So I'm letting my head go. And then slowly come up. We're going to neutralize first. So first straighten your bottom leg. And then straighten your top leg. I'm going to come off my block for a second and just sit in Dandasana. So feet are flexed. I'm sitting up tall, so I'm going to have to lift my seat or pull my hamstrings out. And just kind of sit up as tall as you can and try to neutralize your spine. So we're not forward folding. Just kind of letting that lengthening happening in the spine, using the spinal muscles in the core. Okay, go ahead and come on back onto your hands, lift your chest, and windshield wiper those legs a bit just after that shape. That can be a lot. Okay. Then remember, we found 2 diamond shapes. We found one at a time. You're going to sit up, and so I'm in a wider stance, so it's more, not like a Baddha Konasana, a wide. And I can just grab onto the shins again and sit up tall, maybe hinge or press back. Or if it feels good to round, I can round. And this is just a gentle hip stretch too. And then coming all the way up, and then extending the legs out. So we'll cross and do the second side. So I'm going to sit on a block again. And I'm going to cross the right leg over the left. Nope, left leg over the right. We've done that one. Either keep the bottom leg straight or bend the second one in. And just for me, I put like a pillow or a block under my bottom knee just because this pose is challenging, but I can see a lot of you are not struggling with it. So and then we're gonna move the chest forward, pull onto the shins, round, and let it come back. Do that a few times just to kind of find that more neutral space. And then once you find it, just sit up nice and tall. Feel your sit bones anchor, feel your spine lift, collarbones lift, bring in that depth of breath. So either just a side stretch away from your top leg, or if you're doing the strap work, left bicep to ear, right arm internally rotate. Think about that neck work we did. And you can stay tall, but I tend to like a little side bend with it. It kind of feels good for that left side hip. Kind of get a little bit more stretch there. Then my head kind of falls into the fist of my left hand so I can relax my neck there. Once again, drop into the depth of your breath. Couple more breaths, soften jaw. And then slowly release. We're going to twist to the left so it's towards the outer edge of our top leg. Any way you want to twist that feels good. Help release any tension along the spine. Move your head if you want. Slowly coming up, uncrossing your legs. We're going to create length again, but this time on our back, so you can right away move to your back. You had a strap, go ahead and interlace it across your heels. If not, just flex your heels to the sky. Feel the heels reach up and feel the belly pull back. So you can lengthen just like we did in Dandasana, but now just on our back. If I have the strap, I can kind of push my outer edges of my feet into the strap, and that sometimes can kind of help kind of seat my low back. And then we're going to come to that diamond shape. So my feet will come together. My knees will go wide so I can kind of pry them open with my elbows if I want. Kind of feel just that different version of a hip stretch. And then feet flat, knees up, windshield wiper. Shake it all the way out. And then go ahead and come to that stillness. So we're going to lie here on our back for some breath work. You can knock your knees together or you can let your feet be neutral. I tend to like the knees knocking just because it helps kind of feel more stable so I don't feel like I'm holding my legs up, but you can do whatever you like. Place your hand at your heart and hand at your abdomen, kind of below your heart. And then find that three-chambered breath where you feel the belly expand. You'll feel the side body expand, and then the very top of your inhale, the hand on your chest or maybe your sternum area should lift. Try to keep that lift as long as you can as you exhale. So letting the air out, but kind of feeling the collarbones stay lifted as you breathe out. And it's that slow kind of chambered exhale. So again, the point here is not to struggle with the breath or to try and make it any deeper than you can. If you can't breathe very deep, just do what you can. And if there are parts of the body you don't feel the breath enter or you feel like it's labored, then let it go, and that's another day. And maybe that's something in the next month that you'll pay more attention to, and we can focus as we focus more on breathing. It's interesting to notice, like with COVID and all of our energy pulling in as we pass people and masks, that kind of that tends to, I think, have an effect of tightening the diaphragm, where we tend to kind of don't breathe as deep. And it's so important that when we're home or in our practice, that we're cultivating those deep breaths. that we're letting ourselves really relax and reset. The breath has such a tremendous calming effect to the nervous system, such a rejuvenating effect. It can switch you out of fight or flight so fast, even if you don't even think that you're stressed or in fight or flight, but being around maybe a lot of people or walking down the street, right, we automatically tense up, it seems, or at least I've noticed that happening. And then letting your hands release out when you're ready, letting your legs release out. Coming into Shavasana. I'm going to give you some imageries as you're lying on your back. As we move into this new cycle, let me get ready for the new moon and whatever intentions you feel called to make. Just imagining yourself full of life. See yourself full of life, smiling, vibrant, healthy, joyful. Take a deep breath in. Breathe it out. Imagining what it would be like to see yourself healthy. Breathing deeply, feeling calm and relaxed, confident in every situation you find yourself. Breathe in. Breathe out. Imagine yourself connected to your heart, connected to your wisdom, connecting to that intuition in every moment, knowing that you have whatever information you need to make whatever choices that you need at all times. Breathe in. Breathe out. Imagining being your body's best advocate, making healthy, wonderful choices for your body and how you move, what you eat, how you rest, how you restore, how you spend your time. Breathing in. Breathing out. Imagining organizing your day in a way that makes you feel balanced, aligned, confident, but receptive, curious. Breathe in. Breathe out. Imagine yourself true to yourself, true to your essence and all that you do, whether it's washing the dishes, cutting the grass, lying in the sun, reading a book. Breathe into your essence in everything you do. Breathe out. Take another couple breaths in and out. Then just let the breath be natural. Let your body rest and receive the practice. Soften your face, the muscles of your jaw, your eyes, your forehead. Exhaling out any tension. Releasing any tension out of the neck and the throat. Allowing any tension throughout the chest, the shoulders, the arms, the fingers. At the next exhale, all of it gone. Around the heart space, soft. The heart can breathe and move, breathing in and out. Abdomen relaxed, hips relaxed. On the next exhale, feeling rejuvenation occurring in your abdomen and hips. Breathing into relaxation through the legs, the knees, the ankles, the feet. Wiggling your toes and letting any last bits of tension leave. And then taking a full breath into the entirety of your body, rejuvenating every cell and tissue, remembering what it's like to be vibrant, healthy, alive, and awake. And exhale, let it go. If you feel like moving again, do so. If you feel like staying on your back, do so. We'll come up to seated when you're ready. Letting your hands rest on your heart. Bowing your head in towards your heart, your wisdom, your intention to come today to practice, to show up for you. And on this eve of a new moon, may we all find ways to continue to put our attention and our focus on worthy efforts that allow us to live our life as vibrantly as possible. Breathe into that intention, if it resonates, and breathe out. Hands at the heart, the light in me honors and celebrates the vibrant, radiant lights within each and every one of you. Namaste. Thank you for practicing.